Ross Cullen reporting.
From the studios of Extreme Sports in Hastings, Nebraska, we present Huddle Up, a great way to start your day with all the news, weather, and sports you need, interesting interviews, and friendly conversation from two guys that go together like Scooby and Shaggy, Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports, and welcome to a Thursday, the 20th of the month. Mike Will, Tyson Havronic standing by. We've got all the news, weather, and sports that you need to get out the door here this morning. A lot on the table here for this Thursday. The Nebraska women's basketball team in action last night. Brent Prince had a big ball game, scored 30 points. As the Nebraska women knocked off Oral Roberts last night by the score of 103-58. I'll tell you about that game coming up. The Nebraska men's basketball team, they're playing in the Hall of Fame Classic in Kansas City, and their opening round game will be tonight against New Mexico. The Nebraska volleyball team has a chance to clinch at least a share of the conference championship tonight when they take on the Iowa Hawkeyes at the Devaney Center. That game gets underway at 7 o'clock on FS1. Hastings College men's and women's basketball teams on the road last night, picking up big wins at Doane. Hastings College women's soccer team will open play in the NAIA National Tournament today down in Arkansas. The Great Plains Athletic Conference football teams were announced yesterday. Hastings College well represented on those teams. We've got some comments coming up from Nebraska defensive coordinator John Butler as the Huskers get ready to play Penn State on Saturday on the road. Also going to be talking about the Celebration of Lights, which is coming up tonight in Hastings. We've got Shannon Landauer and also Sydney Erickson from the Chamber going to be joining us here in this hour to discuss the Celebration of Lights tonight. So a lot on the table here as we welcome in Tyson Havronic from the Western Studios. Good morning, my man.
Yeah, good morning. What do you need me for? You got so much to talk about with the sports side, but yeah, excited for the Celebration of Lights tonight, downtown Hastings. Certainly the place to be, always such a special time and a fun time for young and old alike and families, and certainly if you come hungry, plenty of food vendors available, plus the great local restaurants and shops already in downtown. So excited to reconnect with so many friendly faces in downtown Hastings tonight.
Yeah, big celebration of lights going on. Again, we'll tell you more about that later on in the hour when we talk with the folks from the Chamber. So where do we start? We mentioned this, right?
You're driving.
Yeah, I'm driving the car. I've got the keys. I got the foot on the accelerator. We talked about it yesterday. Dayton Raiola decommitting from Nebraska. We'll start there. We heard all about it yesterday. That's going to be the fourth decommitment out of Nebraska's 2026 recruiting class, and that leaves Nebraska with just 9 recruits right now in the 2026 class, which is one of the lowest numbers in the FBS. But I think I think we like where we are. We've been playing a bunch of young players in the team. Really wasn't looking for too much. We've got the transfer portal coming up. I imagine that we're going to be pretty active again in the transfer portal in January. But that was the news yesterday that 4 commitments have decided to decommit from Nebraska, and that leaves us with just 9 commits for 2026.
Let's hear it. What was of all the conspiracy theories that were spun around yesterday? What was your favorite?
I tried to not dive into a lot of that stuff because there's a lot of weird stuff going on with Dayton decommitting. I saw signs that Dylan was going to leave. The coach, the uncle, Dominique, was going to leave Nebraska. You heard everything yesterday.
Oh yeah, and all these people with their sources. Just give me a break. what the hell does Gary Saddlemeyer know about the Raiola family? And they told me they're leaving. Shut up. Just shut up and let's let the transfer portal run its course here. Nobody knows anything. Nobody has any real big insight. And I'm going to keep going to this point, Mike, man. Like, we have a gigantic football game coming up. A huge road contest against Penn State. And all anybody is talking about is Dayton Raiola, a kid from 2026 who, again, hadn't stepped foot on campus. So, a lot of noise to try to weed through. I'm focused on Saturday from my Husker fandom standpoint. I don't care how many recruits we have before December 1st. Everything's going to sort itself out through the transfer portal. If we have only 9 kids signed, that means we're going to have a lot of open spots come the transfer portal, which means we're going to have a lot of opportunities to get those kids from the Floridas, from the LSUs, all those opportunities in big name universities that are going through coaching changes right now. We'll have the opportunity to open our doors up with some more roster spots. So no, I don't care about decommits, and I don't think it's yelling anything more than the quarterback room is pretty crowded, and Dayton probably got a phone call from another university that says he's going to be an instantaneous true freshman starter. So yeah, these kids aren't stupid, man. They're going to go out where they can play and be successful, not sit on the bench.
Probably got a call from his older brother too, and says, "Hey, this don't look as cherry as you thought it was going to look." So,
right.
I don't know. We'll see what happens there. I thought I would bounce off of you some thoughts to lead off the show with that. But
sure.
Remember the last time that we were kind of in a situation where we had a lot of talk during the week and not a whole lot of talk about the game is when Matt Rule was thinking about leaving, and that was the big speculation that he was going to leave for Penn State. And all we did talked all week about Rule leaving and the possibility of him leaving, and then we went out and laid a stinker with Minnesota.
We got flattened by Minnesota.
Yeah, that concerns me.
Yeah, same.
And the coach is going to be before the media today.
That'll be first question out of the chute.
Oh, yeah. And it'll dominate the news conference today, the recruiting. And it shouldn't. We're supposed to be talking about Penn State today.
Yeah.
But that's...
I want to go up to Lincoln and have a little TED Talk before we begin with Matt Rule with the reporters out there. I'd be like, hey, now, let's do our job. Let's focus on the Saturday game at hand and not rumor Villanova over here with the Raiola rumors. Or, God, just can we put those away for a tiny bit? No one is reading your paper anyway. Certainly not going through a paywall to read your stuff. So let's just focus on the game.
All right, so that's the latest news on Nebraska. Again, we'll have some comments from John Butler, the defensive coordinator for the Huskers, coming up as we focus on the game on this Saturday. Some NFL news. Baltimore Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson, again, is in the news. For the second straight week, Jackson did not practice for the Ravens on Wednesday. This time, the two-time NFL most valuable player is listed with an ankle injury. Before, he had the hamstring injury and sat out 3 games. Well, he played last week, and now he's got some sort of an ankle injury. He did not practice yesterday, so his status for this weekend could be a little iffy. Jackson has been sacked an average of 3.2 times per game this year, which is the most of his 8-year career. In fact, on Sunday, Jackson was sacked 5 times by the Browns, including 4 by Myles Garrett. So he's been banged around a little bit. He was sidelined for 3 games with that hamstring injury. He's missed a total of 8 practice sessions so far this season. So Lamar Jackson is hobbled again this week, this time with an ankle injury. Isn't that your fantasy football quarterback?
Thanks for rubbing that in. It is. I've taken some precautions already this week. We've made a just dumpster fire of a trade in the Fantasy Football League. I had like the Bears backup running back that I'm shipping over for a quarterback. And here's the thing, I forgot who I even traded for. It's that bad. It was that or Shadur. Literally, I was staring.
No.
No.
No, you weren't.
I was looking at the waiver wire and I said, "Oh Jesus! If Lamar can't go, there's only one quarterback that's even starting here." And I looked at it and I said, "SOS, Dakota, help me out. Who's your third string quarterback that you got on the bench?" And he gave me somebody that we traded for. So yeah, we have a horrible quarterback situation.
So you didn't take Shadur Sanders?
I did not. No, I left him on the waiver wire for you.
He's expected to start for Cleveland this week.
Like, I would rather cut my left foot off of my leg than start Shadur Sanders.
Joe Burrow slowly coming back. The Cincinnati quarterback, he was a full participant at practice yesterday, according to the team's injury report. First time that the Pro Bowl quarterback has been 100% in practice since he suffered a turf toe injury on September 14th against Jacksonville. Wednesday marked the first time that Burrow went through 11-on-11 drills in his return to practice. He is still on the 21-day window that allows him to participate in practice without being on the active roster. So he's been hobbled by the turf toe injury since, September 14th against Jacksonville. And now Joe Burrow slowly working his way back into things for Cincinnati. They didn't go as far as to say that he would be the starter this week. They're going to see how the rest of the week goes. But Joe Burrow could be returning to Cincinnati. Is it too late for the Bengals?
Yeah. And their problems are more than just quarterback. Like, that's a team in turmoil right now. You had the Jamar Chase spitting incident the other day. Just a locker room that's completely unhappy, trying to be competitive and play meaningful football. They were probably in the tier of AFC contenders maybe before the season started, and that conversation has gone mute. And like I said, it's not just Joe Burrow going down. There's some issues inside that locker room.
Aaron Rodgers at Pittsburgh, he's got a fracture in his left wrist, his non-throwing arm. He's going to try to toughen it out this week in practice. He practiced a little bit yesterday, and it's not known yet whether Aaron Rodgers will be ready to play this weekend. If not, we'll see Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer.
You had to.
It's Christmas time. We're going to celebrate the celebration of lights tonight. I got to get in the Christmas spirit.
We haven't even had Thanksgiving yet.
I know. I got a living room
One
full.
holiday at a time.
I know.
Sir.
I got a living room full right now of all my Christmas decorations. I refuse to put them up, so I've got just boxes and boxes of a Christmas decorations sitting in my living room. I don't know when my bookkeeper/wife is going to put those things up, but I refuse to even touch them before Thanksgiving, which is not until next week.
That's right.
So, all right, we've got the latest on the quarterbacks around the NFL. The 49ers, they're dealing with problems with their kicker. Eddie Pinheiro, he's out with a right hamstring injury. They didn't know how long he is going to be out, so you got to have yourself a kicker. Uh-huh. So San Francisco went out yesterday, and they signed Matt Gay to their practice squad. Gay hit the free agent market this week when the Washington Commanders released him after continued struggles, including a pair of missed field goals in overtime in their loss to the Dolphins on Sunday. But Gay was 13 out of 19 on field goal tries this year. He made all 22 of extra points in 10 games for Washington before being released this week. He's actually played in 100 career games with the Commanders, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Los Angeles Rams, and the Indianapolis Colts. He has made 84% of his 212 career field goal attempts. So it looks like Matt Gay could be the next kicker for San Francisco. I've got Eddie Pinero on my fantasy football team.
Oh, okay. I was wondering why we were spending so much time talking about a kicker. They are pretty much irrelevant faces until they miss a game-winning field goal. Nobody cares about the kicker until they miss. So,
but if you're a San Francisco fan, I know we got a couple of San Francisco fans in the lobby already. They got to know that your next kicker is probably going to be Matt Gay from the Washington Commanders.
We have to know that?
So that's some news around the NFL. Had Hastings College basketball in the air last night. The Broncos going on the road and playing at Doane. Couple of, what exciting game anyway. The men's game, 64-62. Hastings was able to pick up a win. Doane had the last shot, a three-point field goal attempt by Kaysen Chaney. Doinked off with the rim. Broncos grabbed the rebound, and they secure their second win of the season. So Hastings men, they win last night over Doane 64-62. Broncos now 2-5 on the season, 1-1 in the conference. Hastings College women, make it a point this year, casual basketball fans, make it a point to get out and see the Hastings College women play. Mm-hmm. These girls are good. They got most of their players back from a season ago, and they've hit the court in full gear here this year. They jumped out to a 24-15 first quarter lead, then went on a 19-2 run in the second quarter, and put away Doane last night, winning by the score of 101-78. And Bose hit 4 3-pointers, finished with 21 points for Hastings. McKenna Yates had 17. The Broncos now 4-2 in the season. And they're going to have a big game on Saturday. They play at number 1 ranked and 2-time defending champion Dort over in the Sioux Center. Game will get underway at 2. The men will go at 3:45. We'll be there. We'll have the action on Extreme Sports beginning with a pregame show at 1:45. But Hastings College women's basketball team playing real well here to begin the season. Looking forward to seeing what they can do here for this 2025-2026 season.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, I mean, went to the Natty National Tournament last year, and we had coverage the women, and you mentioned it, bringing everybody back. So it should be fun to watch them, especially coming up on Saturday against number 1 team in the nation. So let's go Broncos.
And then Brent Prince last night for the Huskers, 30 points. She was 13 out of 28 from the field, 4 out of 6 on the three-pointers, added 5 rebounds, 4 assists. The Huskers rolling past Oral Roberts last night, 103-58. Nebraska now 5-0 in the season. They're going to play in the Emerald Classic in Niceville, Florida.
Niceville?
Niceville. Must be a suburb somewhere down there.
Must be nice.
Niceville, Florida. They're going to be playing down there on Monday and Tuesday. So both the Husker basketball teams are undefeated.
Hot damn.
Yeah, men's and women's basketball undefeated. Volleyball is undefeated. We've got a bowling team that's pretty good.
And a football team where your main story is your 2026 commit transferring.
Dayton Raiola.
Anyways, we should probably, from the basketball standpoint, stop playing with dead mice. I would kind of want to see us up against a big caliber competition. I think Nebraska had it here recently, Saturday with that matchup against Oklahoma. But come on, I mean, Oral Roberts, we could have tied one in behind Britt Prince's back, and we probably still would have won that basketball game. So, on to some stiffer competition, hopefully coming up this weekend.
The Husker men, after their win over Oklahoma on Saturday, they're going to play New Mexico tonight in the Hall of Fame Classic down in Kansas City. New Mexico They're 3-1 this year. They went to the NCAA tournament a season ago. I think they got into the second round. You probably wouldn't know that because you were on page 3 of our bracket challenge. But New Mexico made it into the second round of the NCAA basketball tournament a season ago. They're going to play Nebraska tonight down in Kansas City. So another tough test for the Huskers. Speaking of college basketball, a big game last night. Fourth-ranked Arizona beat number 3 UConn 71-67. So we talked about Kansas playing Duke the night before. Uh-huh. Well, Arizona beat UConn last night in a top 5 matchup, 71-67. So that's what's going on in college basketball.
J.J. McCarthy was the quarterback I traded for.
J.J. McCarthy from
rolling with the Vikings running.
The Vikings,
rookie.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is he going to play? He's been in and out of the lineup too.
Jesus, I hope so.
Yeah, he's missed. He's missed several games. I don't know if he's.
If not, there's a secondary offer. Stroman wants to get rid of Brock Purdy. Purdy hasn't been all that healthy.
No, but I think he's back.
He's at least back. So there's a secondary option. I could go to Brock Purdy and trade away R.J. Harvey. Everyone's just going after my running backs. I had a good stable of running backs. I had a full running back room, but now that I don't have any quarterbacks.
I noticed yesterday when I was doing some work on my fantasy team in the league that you're with me on, yeah. I noticed you dropped off of the top tier of the standings.
Shut up. No. I mean.
Yeah, you're no longer in first place. You got out. You won like the first 5 weeks in a row.
Had a really good stretch.
And now you're not doing so well.
I don't have anybody that's healthy or even active this week. Most of my guys are on bye. The guys that are on the bench are out.
God, too bad I'm not playing you this week.
You got Lamar Jackson, who's questionable. Alvin Kamara, who's been just total trash this year, as well as the Saints. DK Metcalf, he's got to figure it out. Like, you talk about Pittsburgh and some of the struggles that Rodgers has had. DK Metcalf has been a ghost. Like, he has ghosted the Steelers' offense in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, you haven't heard a lot about him this year.
I'm getting ready to either ship him off to somebody or drop his ass at this point. He's an anchor on my team. So, yeah, all of my guys that started off real good, it's been a tailspin.
That's what happens.
But then I look at the rest of the league, and it's like, oh, nobody else is gaining any ground either. So, yeah, we did finally lose our loose grip on the top of the standings.
Great Plains Athletic Conference came out with their all-conference football teams yesterday. Hastings College well represented here. Nice. Running back Dalton Armbruster, tight end Jake Bargan, center Jaden Lagunas, punter Trayvon Shaw, and linebacker Dawson Kissinger were all named to the first team. Offensive lineman Sal Nacarelli and Traquan Henry. Defensive lineman Tawan January and linebacker Jake Lambert were named to the second team. And defensive back Sam All and tight end Eli Nappy were honorable mention. Broncos finishing 5-5 this season after their win on Saturday over Dakota Wesleyan up in Mitchell. So 11 players honored by the GPAC yesterday as the all-conference football teams came out.
Yeah, rightfully so. You know, you look at a 5-5 record, and on one hand, yeah, it's 500, but the other, this was a competitive football season for Hastings College, and you know, it's been a couple years since we've really been able to go blow for blow with some of these schools across the GPAC. So yeah, postseason honors well deserved for this football team, and you know, I think I'm really excited to see what 2026 is going to bring for Matt and the boys, because I thought this was a really special year. They hit a turnaround about the fourth week of the season. It was that Morningside game for me. I think the one that did it, where it was like, damn, you look at that final score and how competitive that football game was, and they're going blow for blow with Steve Ryan's boys over there. And then you kind of thought, well, there's a little bit little bit of belief here. And then you make that road trip out to Northwestern. You pick up that huge win for HC, and the momentum just carried on from that point forward. So excited for next year for sure.
Yeah, it took Dort right to the wire, a game that we probably should have won. Had that interception down there at the 15-yard line with about 30 seconds to play, driving for the winning touchdown. You mentioned Morningside. We were right with Morningside, and those two teams are in the national playoffs this year. Yeah. Morningside and Dort, so we played with both of those teams. Probably should have beat Concordia. So there's 3 games right there. And then earlier in the season, Midland is another game that we probably could have won if we would have played them later on in the season.
Yeah.
And I think we would have won that game. Ever since about that Briar Cliff game, that's when the season turned around. We laid that stinker up into Sioux City and lost to Briar Cliff, a team that's toward the bottom of the standings in the GPAC. That's a game we should have won. Mm-hmm. But we kind of refocused after that and played pretty well from that game on. I talked to Matt several times throughout the season. It was, if this was like a video game, if we could just push the restart button and start the season over right after Briar Cliff, hell, we've probably been in the national playoffs this year.
Yeah.
That's how well we played down the stretch.
Without a doubt.
So, anyway, 11 players from the football team were honored by the GPAC for all-conference. So that's what's going on here this morning. 402-834-1330 is our telephone number if you'd like to join in. That's the Hamilton Telecommunications fan line. If you'd like to leave us a message on the social media sites, we're monitoring those comments as well. So anything that we've talked about so far today, maybe something on your mind, sports-related, maybe something non-sports related. If you want to chat about it, give us a call. Love to have you join us here at the breakfast table. Again, 402-834-1330 is our telephone number. It is 7:27 as you wake up with Mike and Tyson here this morning on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
We'll start first with Tuesday's anhydrous ammonia leak. We got more information on that here this morning. The anhydrous ammonia leak at the fertilizer company less than a mile from Central Community College caused a temporary closure of East J Street and several surrounding businesses. The leak was reported a little after 12 p.m. at Macro Source, leading to the emergency alert activation on multiple cell phones to avoid the area. Multiple response crews remained on scene for nearly 7 hours, followed by 2.5 hours, of cleanup. President of CCC Hastings Campus, Chris Waddle, said there was a strong smell in the area, but the situation never rose to a level requiring evacuation. Macro Source LLC has since released a statement saying that they are conducting a thorough investigation into the situation. Meanwhile, tonight, Hastings continues preparations for its biggest holiday tradition with the annual celebration of lights. The event, held downtown Hastings, features carriage rides, letters to Santa, musical performances, busy downtown businesses, and activities for kids. New in 2025, the roof-level LED lights. These new lights will offer color changes and synced motion and will remain in place year-round for use with festivities even outside of the winter holiday season. Most activities run from 5 to 8 in the downtown business district tonight, and we'll hear more about the celebration of lights coming up later this hour here on Huddle Up. It is 7:29. We'll swing things over to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's going down in sports?
Well, again, Brent Prince scored 30 points last night to lead the Nebraska women's basketball team to a 103-58 victory over Oral Roberts last night at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Prince was 13 out of 28 from the field, including 4 of 6 on three-pointers, while adding 5 rebounds and 4 assists. Eliza Maupin added 17 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and a block shot in 20 minutes off of the bench. Jessica Petrie chipped in with 10.6 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal. Nebraska is now 5-0 in the season and will play in the Emerald Classic in Niceville, Florida on Monday and Tuesday. The Nebraska men's basketball team will play New Mexico tonight in the first round of the Hall of Fame Classic in Kansas City. Huskers are 4-0 in the season. after Saturday's 105-99 win over Oklahoma. The Lobos are 3-1. Tip-off is set for 6. The Nebraska volleyball team will host Iowa tonight at the Devaney Center. Huskers are 26-0 in the season. The Hawkeyes are 14-14. They are 5-11 in the conference. Nebraska can clinch a share of the conference championship with a win tonight. They can win it outright with a victory over Indiana this weekend. First serve in the match tonight will be at 7 on FS1. Hastings College men's basketball team beat Doane 64-62 last night in Crete. The Broncos survived a 3-point field goal attempt from Kaysen Chaney of Doane to pick up their second win of the season. Micah Heinrichs led the way with 21 points. Hastings is now 2-5 in the season, 1-1 in the conference. They'll play at Dort on Saturday. Hastings College women's basketball team raced out to a 24-15 first quarter lead and then used a 19-2 second quarter run to put away Doane 101-78 last night. And Bowes hit 4 3-pointers. She finished with 21 points. McKenna Yates had 17. The Broncos scored 31 points off of Doane's 27 turnovers. Hastings is now 4-2 in the season and will play at number 1 ranked Dort on Saturday. We'll have the games from Sioux Center, Iowa on Saturday here on Extreme Sports, beginning with the pregame show at 1:45. And the Hastings College women's soccer team will play Friends University today in the NAIA National Tournament opening round in Siloam Springs, Arkansas. The Broncos are 15-3-3 on the season and fought to a scoreless tie with the Falcons during the regular season. Kickoff today is set for 1 o'clock. That's a check on your sports headlines at 7:32 on Extreme Sports.
Here's a look at your weather forecast, powered by weatherology.com. Cloudy skies today with daytime highs approaching 52. Northeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. 40 tonight, chance for isolated showers. Isolated rain showers likely tomorrow. 46, cloudy. Much warmer Saturday and Sunday with highs in the upper 50s. And that's your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Frobley. Currently, it's 34 degrees.
At Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center in Hastings, you can now experience the Balancer Pro lymphatic system, a relaxing, touchless treatment that works while you simply sit back. Using the principles of manual lymphatic drainage, it helps flush out swelling, reduce toxins, ease muscle soreness, and promote total body wellness. Whether you're recovering from surgery, looking to contour and tone, aiming for weight loss, or just wanting to feel lighter and more energized, the Balancer Pro lymphatic system delivers results you can feel immediately. Perfect for athletes, post-op recovery, detox, or anyone who just wants to look and feel their best, because it's for everybody with a body. Come try it today at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
Have you checked the time lately? Good chance that Maletta Vista Winery is open. Hey, this is Mick with an update on our new hours. Tuesday through Sunday, we're open 11:30 to 3, and Fridays and Saturdays 11:30 till 9. Not sure what you want to enjoy when you get here? Well, Maletta Vista features award-winning wine, select beers, spirits, world-class foods, breathtaking views, and live entertainment. Visit MalettaVistaWinery.com. Check out our events page for music schedules and more. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook. Make your reservations now at Maletta Vista Winery, located on Highway 281, just north of St. Paul.
Get ready for the ultimate trivia experience with Extreme Sports Trivia. Play from anywhere at home, on the go, or at your favorite bar or restaurant. Compete live against players from all over in real time, answering questions across categories like sports, pop culture, Marvel, and more. Want to see how you stack up? Track your progress with live leaderboards and aim for the top spot. It's free, fun, and super easy to play. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today at extremesports.com trivia and start playing now. And keep an eye out. We're coming soon to a bar or restaurant near you.
Mike Wells, Science Center Vronic with you as I huddle up on Extreme Sports for this Thursday. We'll be talking about the celebration of lights downtown Hastings coming up in just a few minutes as we talk with the folks at the Hastings Chamber about the celebration of lights. Let's talk some Husker football here this morning as we get you up and get you rolling. Again, Nebraska with a tough one this week. They're playing on the road at Penn State. We were joined yesterday by Nebraska defensive coordinator John Butler, who talked about the Penn State offense.
Yeah, when you look at their offense, the strength of what they do is they have a great offensive line. They have two great backs, big physical tight ends, and a mentality of that region and that program to run the football. So it's going to be a great challenge for us, an opportunity. I know that one of the number 13 has a chance to break the record up there, and we've got to do everything we can to make sure he does it against another team. But they're going to run the football. You can see that the identity of what they've been doing of late is establish the run, control the game, be a physical team, and we've got to match that with how we prepare day to day. And then we go up there, we have to understand that's the type of game it's going to be.
Now, Penn State kind of in the same boat as Nebraska. Their starting quarterback, Drew Aller, went out a couple of weeks ago with an injury. He is done for the year, and they've got a new guy in there now. It's Ethan Grunkmeyer. He's the starting quarterback for Penn State.
What I see, a guy has a big, strong arm. When you look at the last couple games, and really specifically the Indiana game, Indiana is a very good defense, as you guys know, that does a good job stopping the run and the pass. And he's ripping 25-yard in cuts, and he's ripping sail routes on the sideline. So he, when the coverage is what he thinks it is, he can make the throws, and he steps up in the pocket, and he's making those intermediate throws that I think I talked about a couple weeks ago. That's really the challenge for a quarterback is you can throw it short, you can throw it deep, but if you can make those intermediate throws, and he's doing that. And then if you look at the Michigan State game, having the savvy and the competitiveness in critical situations on those last two drives of running the ball and extending the drives and making the winning plays. So that combined with their run game and their physicality, I think we've got to be prepared for.
One guy that has stepped up on the Husker defense here recently is linebacker Dylan Rogers, and the coach says he's played well in the last two games for the Husker defense.
We were excited by, what he did in USC. Like he embodies what we talk about and what Matt talks about, a culture of physicality and, just being tough, contact-based player that, he went out there for maybe 12, 15 plays in USC and had 5 or 6 production plays. Then went out there last week and played physical. He rushed the passer well. Sometimes these guys just need an opportunity. And sometimes as coaches, we have to understand that the guys that, really buy into the process and that are physical and that love football and love their teammates. And sometimes all you got to do is throw them out there, and when we've played them the last couple games, I haven't even noticed a drop off or even thought about it. And I've even told Phil Simpson that, we need to play him because he represents what we want to be all about. And he'll put his face on you. He'll be physical with you. And I'm excited about what he's brought to the table in the last 2 weeks.
Husker defense faced with a big challenge this week, and that's stopping a potent rushing attack of the Nittany Lions.
We're a good football team and a good defense. There's a lot of things that, it's low-hanging fruit right now to say that we're struggling to stop the run, but we're one of the best pass defenses in the country, one of the best teams of not letting people in the red zone. We don't give up explosive plays. There's a lot of things that we're doing. We haven't given up a 400-yard rusher. We haven't let a team score on us in the first drive of the game. So there's some things that we're doing well, but obviously in a game like this, we know and understand that it's going to come down to our players embracing that they're going to try to run the football, and we have to stop the run. And that means by any means necessary. If that means me going out there as the 12th guy to make the tackle, I'll do that. But, that's just what it's going to take. That's how we're preparing. We understand the challenge ahead, but this is November football, man. This is what you live for. If you're playing at this level, you want to play in a game like this that, hey, they know they're going to run it. We know they're going to run it. And it's like the good old days of high school football when you got to stop the run.
That's what we're going to be facing. This is Saturday, 6 o'clock starting time. You'll be able to see the game on NBC, Nebraska and Penn State. We're still about a 10-point underdog in the ball game with the Nittany Lions.
Hope John Butler doesn't have to come out and make a tackle because I'm pretty sure that'd be a penalty. Probably a fine, too. Just to stay on the sidelines, John.
Yeah, stay on the sidelines. Anyway, Penn State, Nebraska, this Saturday. With all this other stuff and all the other crap we've been talking about this week, we do have a football game to play on Saturday.
Yeah, and I think we're both lockstep in agreement. You talk about the building and the process and everything that we're doing here at Nebraska, and this is one that you want to win, and not want to. This is one that you need to win. A big road test environment, a program that had gotten shaken up a little bit early, but has since locked in. Really, you look at the last 3 weeks, and everyone. I read on one of those Husker fan blogs, Facebook group pages, and this guy's sitting here and he's talking about how Nebraska's going to dominate this football game because he kept referring back to the UCLA game. The UCLA game was a completely different animal. That was Penn State in absolute turmoil and in a tailspin. And really, since the Indiana game, Penn State did exactly what Hastings College did after Briar Cliff. They hit the restart button. They realized that they still have an entire roster, 22 guys that are just dudes, and they've been a hell of a lot more competitive since that UCLA game. So we can't refer back to that. We're going in against a blue blood of the Big Ten, and we need to, as a program that wants to get to championship caliber mentality, beat one of these blue bloods. And I think it starts this weekend.
Yeah, remember Penn State at the beginning of the season were like preseason number 1 or 2 in a lot of the polls. Yeah, they got rid of their coach, but the players are still there.
Right.
The players are still there. They didn't leave too. So, this is the team that had aspirations of maybe winning the national championship maybe this year. So this is a good football team, and Huskers will have to play their A game to come out on top on a Saturday. Again, 6 o'clock kickoff. You'll be able to see it on the NBC. 7:42, waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. Again, a big event going on in town tonight. We wanted to kind of let you know what's going on with the celebration of lights, and you ran into a couple of people that actually know something about this, huh?
Yeah, I got like a very small window yesterday to leave my friendly cubicle confines of CCC and drove on down to the Chamber of Commerce. I had an opportunity to sit and talk with Shannon Landauer and Sydney Erickson. A couple years ago, the Chamber has now become the sort of the planning mechanism with all of their volunteers and some of their downtown businesses that are chamber members. They've kind of taken on the celebration of lights, and so they're in charge of the big party tonight. And we wanted to get the latest and greatest info to sit down with Shannon and Sydney from the chamber. Downtown is certainly the place to be. Celebration of Lights going to be starting at around 5 p.m., but so much work has gone into the planning of this all and putting this all together, and so we are delighted to be joined by Shannon Landauer. She is the Executive Director of the Chamber and Economic Development here for Hastings, and also Sydney Erickson joining us here on the program with the Chamber as we just dive into all of the things happening here for Hastings' most festive holiday tradition, and that is the celebration of lights. And so first of all, we appreciate you both for taking time and joining us here.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
And Shannon, we'll just kind of start off by talking with you. This has been kind of an effort that the Chamber has picked up here fairly recently, taking one of the most time-honored traditions here in the Hastings community and really making it one of the can't-miss events here for the holidays. But talk about all of the planning and all of the heads that are involved in just putting this event on.
Yeah, it really is an event that starts months ahead of when it takes place. Central Community College is a huge partner, not just financially, but with volunteers. It takes a ton of people planning and at the event to make it all happen. And so we love having the Skills USA kids from the college be a part of that. We have board members from CCC, so very much a partner that we love to see. It takes a lot of sponsorship dollars, but a lot of hours from the planning committee to the event itself. And, it is a tradition. And so every year we see things that are the same, but at the same time, our downtown continues to change. So it's really neat that some of the activities change, the businesses and business mix changes, but the event itself, the beautiful Dutton tree that we light up and having Santa do that countdown is the same. So it's a great thing to bring that traditional event back to downtown.
And from the standpoint of the Chamber, the businesses that are involved in downtown Hastings, everybody's all in on this effort. And this is not only a great opportunity, I think, to celebrate the magic and the joy that the holidays bring, but also to maybe stop into a few places that you've wondered about or have been thinking about stopping in, maybe see what they have to offer. And the businesses are all in here, all in on this event as well.
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the most special things about Celebration of Lights is how many people in our community want to be a part of it. Whether that's people who maybe aren't located downtown, you might see them there that evening because they'll be set up on store corners, on the sidewalks, different things like our Kool-Aid Lane. We have people from the BACA group, Bikers Against Child Abuse, our Live Nativity from First Methodist. It's those different partners coming together with our downtown brick and mortar businesses like First Street, Small Town Famous. We have the Odyssey down there going. Pretty much all your general downtown food options that you see every day are going to be open again on this night. And some that maybe aren't normally open will be open to offer those services to people down there.
I know that you have in front of you a gigantic schedule of everything that's going to be happening. Walk us through maybe the order of events here for this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've kind of separated Celebration of Lights into 3 sections, and that kind of falls under our different activities that families can go and explore, take kids to, and maybe write a letter to Santa, which that's going to be at the Lark. Our Hastings Fire Department is going to be coming downtown and doing the tree burning, and that's going to be on Denver Avenue. So fun things like that you get to see with them. We'll have horse carriage and rides by Ridgeline. We're going to have live saxophone music on First, a live nativity, reindeer. Truly, the number of activities when you get down there and you just look around, you are going to be overwhelmed by how much we have going on, and that's exactly what we're excited to offer to the Hastings community. As far as food, we are excited to have several different options available to our residents in Hastings. Like I said before, a lot of your businesses that you see downtown that have different food or their restaurants, they're going to be open during Celebration of Lights. So Back Alley Bakery, the Cheese and Wine Shop, What the Dickens, Odyssey, Daily Dose, Eagles, the list goes on. Big Dally's Deli too. And then we also have food trucks coming from all over our community to this event as well. So you're going to be able to find them on First Street, but that would be like Serrano's, Franco's Wings and More. Back Alley Bakery food truck will be there as well as Mean Bone Barbecue food truck. So, and the list goes on from there too. So we really recommend when you come to Celebration, take a look at our map, explore the options for yourself, because there's going to be so much there for you to explore and hopefully go into.
So to point out some special events and timing that you need to note, while the event itself is scheduled from 5 to 8, the stage really kicks off with our first act at 4:45. And the countdown and lighting is going to happen at 6:55 and the tree burning at 7:15. So those are some things that we just want to point out, that while most of the things are happening throughout, there are a few special items that you'll want to take note of.
Let's talk about just some of the new and exciting different factors here for the celebration of lights, and I think one of those that's been kind of widely put in the in the news cycle here over the last couple weeks is the new lights that have gone up, and from what I understand, these new LED lights are not just going to be for Christmas time. The community is going to be able to enjoy these for different festivities that happen well beyond the scope of just the holidays.
Yeah, a huge shout out to the Business Improvement District. That was a huge effort to turn that dream into reality with the fundraising and getting all the coordination done to light up the rooftops again. This new type of lighting is more intended for year-round use. The color schemes can change to, really support whatever the different season might be or what events we have going on. But great applause for BID for pulling that together, and all indications are that that'll be a part of our lighting as well, so we're super excited to have that a part of our event this year.
As this event gets set to get underway, and there's probably way too many thank yous to even begin to start to put together, but what does it just say about this particular community, whether it's the business community, whether it's just the folks that want to get involved, volunteer, help out, and how special this event is for Hastings?
It is hugely important to note the volunteers. There are people that give their time, there are people that give money, and there are those people also that when you just don't know what to do to accommodate a challenge that comes up, they answer the phone and they find a way. And I think that, to your point, not naming anybody specifically, but those individuals that are just the turn no's to yeses and just find a way to get it done, they're not about themselves. They're about the event, they're about the community, and they're about seeing the smiles and making it all go well. That really is the magic, right? We're not in it for ourselves at the chamber or any of the volunteers. We're here to just see a great night and see the kids smiling. I think everything has been done that can be done except making sure the weather's perfect. We always try to order it. That's a common chamber thing that is out there. But it's exciting, and there are just so many people that we appreciate in this process.
A great evening planned indeed. Going to begin shortly before 5 p.m. First musical entertainment, as mentioned, hits the stage at 4:45. Events really getting underway from 5 until 8 p.m. Tree lighting at 6:55. Celebration of lights in downtown Hastings. We've been talking with Sydney and Shannon from the chamber here. I guess lastly, as we wrap up and we put our mind frame in the holiday spirit, as far as tonight is concerned, what's on the Christmas wish list here for the chamber?
Oh my gosh. We just want everyone to think local and shop local. We have so many restaurants and stores, and it's really easy to drive by every day and not take the time to appreciate what we have. And so we're really encouraging shopping local this season, encouraging interacting with our stores and getting to know our store owners. So I think that's our big wish. Just enjoy our community, appreciate it, be positive about what we have, because there's so much to be thankful for.
Downtown Hastings, celebration of lights tonight. It's going to be a great time.
All right, so a special event going on. Wanted to remind everybody about the celebration of lights. Get them on the show here today to join us on the Huddle Up.
Weather-wise, cloudy, upper 40s this evening. We've had it a lot worse for celebration of lights.
We've had it a lot worse.
I remember multiple pairs of gloves that I was wearing out while we were doing live remotes at some of the old ventures that we were a part of, and just you couldn't even hear on the broadcast because all you could hear was my teeth just chattering. I could barely even speak. It's been frigid ass cold before, so we'll take upper 40s tonight to light up downtown.
All right, 7:54. Waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Start off with an update on this week's anhydrous ammonia leak. It was at a fertilizer company less than a mile from Central Community College, causing a temporary closure of East J Street and several surrounding businesses. The leak was reported a little after 12 p.m. on Tuesday at Macro Source, leading to an emergency alert activation on multiple cell phones to avoid the area. Multiple response crews remained on scene for nearly 7 hours, followed by an additional 2.5 hours of cleanup. The president of the Central Community College Hastings campus, Chris Waddle, said there was a strong smell in the area, but the situation never rose to a level requiring evacuation. Macro Source released a statement yesterday saying that they are conducting a thorough investigation into the situation. Meanwhile, Central Community College has its first students inducted into the Adult Education Honor Society earlier this month at College Park. Each inductee was nominated by an adult education instructor. The students were selected for their dependable attendance, cooperative attitude, and work ethic. The inductees were honored to be part of the process and that they'll be able to use it when applying for a position, whether in the workplace or at the college. The 19 inductees were GED or English as a Second Language students at one of CCC's campuses or centers. 7:55, we'll head over to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's going down in sports?
Well, Brent Prince scored 30 points to lead the Nebraska women's basketball team to a 103-58 victory over Oral Roberts last night at PBA. Prince was 13 out of 28 from the field, including 4 of 6 on three-pointers, while adding 5 rebounds and 4 assists. Nebraska now 5-0 in the season. Huskers will play in the Emerald Classic in Niceville, Florida, coming up on Monday and Tuesday. The Nebraska men, they're going to be in action tonight in Kansas City in the Hall of Fame Classic against New Mexico. Game time tonight will be at 6. The Nebraska volleyball team will host Iowa tonight at the Devaney Center. Huskers have a chance to clinch at least a share of the conference championship with a win tonight. First serve will be at 7 on FS1. Hastings College basketball teams played last night. They were on the road in Crete to take on Doane. Hastings College men beat the Tigers 64-62. The Broncos survived a 3-point field goal attempt from Kaysen Chaney at the buzzer to pick up their second win of the season. Hastings is now 2-5 on the year, 1-1 in the conference. The Hastings College women, they rolled to a 101-78 win over Doane. Broncos had a 24-15 first quarter lead and then used a 19-2 run during the second quarter to put the Tigers away. And Bose had 4 3-pointers, finished with 21 points. Hastings now 4-2 on the season. They will play at number 1 ranked Dort coming up on Saturday. I'll be part of the doubleheader over in the Sioux Center. We'll have both games here on Extreme Sports beginning with a pregame show at 1:45. Hastings College women's soccer team will play Friends University today in the NAIA National Tournament opening round in Siloam Springs, Arkansas. Game time will be at 1 this afternoon. That's a check in your sports headlines at 7:58 on Extreme Sports.
Here's a look at your weather forecast, powered by weatherology.com. Highs around 52 today. Under overcast skies, winds out of the northeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Overcast skies tonight, isolated rain showers likely, 40. Isolated rain showers again tomorrow, 46. Turning much warmer Saturday and Sunday with highs in the upper 50s. And that's your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Currently, it's 34.
At Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center in Hastings, you can now experience the Balancer Pro lymphatic system, a relaxing, touchless treatment that works while you simply sit back. Using the principles of manual lymphatic drainage, it helps flush out swelling, reduce toxins, ease muscle soreness, and promote total body wellness. Whether you're recovering from surgery, looking to contour and tone, aiming for weight loss, or just wanting to feel lighter and more energized, the Balancer Pro lymphatic system delivers results you can feel immediately. Perfect for athletes, post-op recovery, detox, or anyone who just wants to look and feel their best, because it's for everybody with a body. Come try it today at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings.
I'm John Butler, funeral director and owner at Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the Advanced Funeral Planning Specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at Hamilton is Business.
All right, Mike Will, Tyson Urbanik here, huddle up on Extreme Sports. Another week of NFL football gets underway tonight. Buffalo is playing at Houston. 7:15 tonight on Prime. Thursday night football, are the Bills under the Thursday night jinx tonight?
I wouldn't play them. I wouldn't play them in a parlay, that's for sure.
Buffalo and
it's
Houston.
Thursday, man. Anything can happen on a Thursday, and we've stubbed our toe against lesser teams and lesser opponents, so it wouldn't be out of the realm of the possibility. The one nice thing is Shane's going to have to find a different team to jinx on his Blazing 5 this week. He can't retroactively bet Buffalo.
He had Buffalo the past couple of weeks, and they haven't done well for him. The Blazing 5. Yeah. By the way, Ty Schleicher and Ty Moritz, they need to get their picks in for their Survivor by 6 o'clock tonight. They're the only 2 people left in our Survivor series here this year. So they have until 6 o'clock tonight to get those picks in as they continue to battle for the top prize. To see if we can come out with a winner before Thanksgiving. Maybe not. Hell, this could go on for a while. Those guys are on a roll. So they'll have till 6 o'clock tonight to get their picks in. You and I will have our Blazing 5 tomorrow. IT guy will have his picks tomorrow. And Coach Stroman, after his successful mission last week, what did he go, 4-1 last week? He went 4-1. So he's asked to be on again this week with his picks. So we'll get Tim Stroman's picks for the weekend as well, coming up during tomorrow's show on the Blazing 5.
And he does not sugarcoat when he boasts. There's no sugarcoating. It's in your face. It's a text thread. He constantly updates us how he's doing in comparison to how we're doing. Oh, guys, looks like I'm 4-1 over here. How are you? Oh, what happened over there? How many wins do I need to just beat us?
Yeah, he kind of
just get us to the finish line so we can continue to use the Blazing 5 intro.
He slams it in our face all weekend long.
It does. Yeah.
And I just shake my head. He's picking teams that I don't even know where they're located. But I guess that's the way you do it. Maybe he's got more time to do research. But he does. Right. Hey, anyway, if you want to listen to this show again, our interviews we had with the folks down at the Chamber of Commerce about the celebration of lights, you want to listen to defensive coordinator in John Butler. Download the podcast of our show here today. You can listen to it anytime throughout the day. Listen to it at your convenience. Make plans to be here again tomorrow morning at 7 for Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports. Have yourself a great day.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports.